we interrupt the year of us to tell you that stuff is happening. Sure, things are going on in the world, like election excitement and a French Olympian losing his shot at a medal because of his massive doink. So much stuff, but none of that is about us. So we have some current events on an extremely local level to tell you about before we get back on schedule. Welcome to Pitney and Amelia's Bitchen Boutique.
We may be awful, but we're right.
So when we decided to do the Year of Us, it really took a lot of pressure off of us by sitting down, a couple of times during the year with a calendar and just sort of coming up with topics and just sort of planning out the year and being like, oh, and we never have to be like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? Because we always know.
Oh, yeah, which is good.
But the problem with that is when things happen, we can't, it's like, yeah, but we're supposed to talk about Schmeckle. Or we're supposed to talk about, we have to talk about road trips, or we have to talk about, bad food that we think is great, or whatever. And it's like, and we did at one point just record an extra episode that we're going to stick in when we don't have time. Yeah. A timeless episode. But this week, we have so much that we just have to say that we're bumping things in the schedule.
Yeah. But I will say that it's been good to have this schedule, because if things are shitty, it's good to force ourselves into a state of mind where we're not focusing on that.
Yes.
And we're actually laughing and not focusing on if there's shit going on in our life, which...
Right. And there has been.
Yeah. Fortunately for me, I've had a good year without a whole lot of drama. So that's good for a change, right?
I mean, mentioning the Schmeckle one, the last episode, when we recorded that Schmeckle one, that was a day. The day we recorded that.
That was a very bad day for you. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was yeah, I'll get into that, but that's going to be part of my story. Yeah. So, God, should I just go into it?
Yeah, let's just go.
Okay. I do want to say off the top of my head, just so we will be talking about this later, but I want to say it now in case some people only listen to the beginning. When you hear this, the week after, I will be in San Jose.
Yes.
We will be at GalaxyCon. And oh my God, everyone in the world is going to be at GalaxyCon.
Excited.
It has grown into, now granted, it is all there is standing in line for autographs, and I mean, it's what cons are now.
Yeah, but I'm hoping there's going to be some Q&A to go to with maybe all the Trek people. Or
I mean, I know that the Our Flag Means Death people. Yeah, the Our Flag people, there's 4 Our Flag people now. Originally there was 3, but Christian Nairn, Lee John is going to be there too. And, But anyway, oh my God. So back to what I was talking about. But yeah, that's going to be happening. And we're going to be doing a live stream.
Yes.
We're going to do a live thing where I will debut a song that I finally finished writing last week. And Pitney doesn't even know. He doesn't even know.
I'm excited.
It's more complicated than I thought it was going to be. And I have to re-edit my own karaoke track because it's a song from the 70s, which means there's ridiculously long musical interludes.
Yeah, which we do not need to have.
Like, the song is 6.5 minutes long because of the goddamn musical interludes that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a great song, and I'm very excited.
Oh, me too. I can't wait to hear it.
I hope y'all like it. But anyway, back to me. So the day that we were recording the Schmeckle episode, once we stopped recording, we kept talking for a while. And to say that we were both crying, like, You would never know it.
Yeah.
While you're listening to the episode. But as soon as we both had, like, a lot to get out, and I was really, really suffering. And that was the day that, partly through the conversation that I had with you, I was gradually going to get there, but I'm glad that we talked when we did, because it helped me get there faster, which I think expedited the rest of it, which was that, y'all know my beloved little baby boy, Spike, my little, he's 25% Japanese chin, 50% kitten, 50% angel, 50% bunny, 50% llama, and 25%
and 100% hell on wheels.
Yes, and 75% chihuahua. He was 15 and a half years old. And yeah, I just said was. So it was, a few years ago he started having seizures. That got, not only was that easily handled by twice a day phenobarbital, but it also gave him a complete blood panel with a vet that didn't know him and was shocked that a 13-year-old chihuahua was in such incredibly good health.
Yeah, I know.
Like, that guy was like, if you hadn't told me he was 13, I would have guessed he was under 10. Like, he was in such physical, everything was perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that was a while ago. So, he started getting, like, cataracts in his eyes, but because he was an old dog, we were just gonna make sure that lights stayed on, and we did rearrange the furniture downstairs, but that was, he learned his way around again. He was very, very smart. But he also started, having dementia. And dementia in a dog is just as hard to watch as it is with a person. It is, when I realized, because I was like, well, because at first I thought a lot of his wandering and pacing, I just took it as, because we moved the couch, because we moved this over here, he's just, because of his vision, he's learning his way around again, and he's counting his steps, or whatever a blind dog does to learn his way around. But then it went from pacing to literal walking in tight circles. Like the way a dog will turn in circles as he's sniffing around to find a place to pee.
To find a poop or pee, yeah.
Yeah. Well, imagine that. Like, it looks like he's about to start doing that, but now he's just walking in a circle, and he can do it. He could do it for an hour if you didn't stop him. And that was going on for a while. But that weekend, we could tell it was just, he was really frustrated, and he was starting to not be very steady on his feet. And he had stopped eating, but we didn't see it as stopping eating, because months ago he had stopped drinking water because he forgot how.
Yeah.
And so we had been giving, literally with a syringe with water, giving him like 3, 4, 5, 6 milliliters at a time, many times a day.
Yeah.
To just keep him hydrated. And we thought, well, maybe he's confused about food, because for a while, even when he was eating, he would walk up to his bowl, but he would forget why he was there, and he would do another circle, and eventually he would go, oh, I'm hungry, and eat, but he wasn't doing it. And you helped me realize that the combination of that and his finding hiding places, which, when a dog is really, really tiny, like 4.5 pounds, because he had lost a lot of weight. Yeah. We had a print, like a nerdy John Carpenter print, that my husband framed, and we just had it leaning up against a wall, like, okay, well, we're going to hang it here, but for now we're just putting it right here.
Yeah.
One day we couldn't find him. He was laying down behind the print.
Yeah.
Like, that's how small. You know, it's very easy to lose a dog that tiny.
True.
Jesus Christ.
But that's what tipped me off, really, was the hiding.
And we just thought it had not clicked. And the thing is, as soon as you said it, I realized, oh my God, he's done it several times.
Mm-hmm.
Like every day, at least once, he keeps hiding from us. So we had started to, we had gotten him all this liquid food that we were going to force feed him.
Yeah.
And that was very difficult. I mean, he would eat it, but it was not easy.
But that's what you do when you think, because you didn't know.
Right.
And
because you had also, the same dog that kind of taught you all the ways to look for when a dog's ready to go, was the dog that was gonna die once, and then he just started eating food, and all of a sudden he wasn't sick anymore. Yeah. Like, he had a horrible disease and was gonna die at the vet, and you brought him home and started feeding him stuff, and he was like, oh, you're just gonna put food into my mouth?
Yeah,
I can just lay here and you feed me?
2 blood transfusions. 2.
Yeah, because he had no blood in him. Like, his gums were white. Which helped me recognize it in my mother when she had the same blood disease.
Oh, shit.
God damn it.
That's true.
Yes, it made me, I could look at my mom and go, I think you're about to need a transfusion.
See, everything goes back to Lindbergh.
Exactly. Lindbergh was the world. But, so Spike, we decided to stop forcing food on him, and we decided to let him go. And unfortunately, that was a Saturday, and it's real hard to get a vet. And my vet is they have no staff. They have, literally the vet, 1 tech, and a receptionist.
Uh-huh.
That's why I realized, I haven't seen any of the other people that work there in a really long time, because that's it. So that means that Betsy, the greatest vet tech in history, is not available. Because in the past, she used to go to people's houses to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she absolutely would have, but she doesn't do it anymore. Well, so, she gave me some recommendations. Apparently, especially since the pandemic, everyone in Austin got a dog, and people weren't taking good care of them, and, all the vets are stretched thin and nobody could come. And then luckily the Duchess, actually, because she has so goddamn many cats, she has multiple vets in her phone, and one of them was a mobile vet who just put one of her cats down the day after Thanksgiving, and she was like, oh, these people are great and they're kind of out by you, and they were busy too, but they figured out a way to work me between 2 people.
Wow, okay.
It was like, well, we're going to be here, and then while we're driving from here to there, we can stop in there. Because it doesn't take incredibly long. Although, the little shit. I will say that those days of watching him decline was really, really hard. Because he wouldn't fucking let go.
Oh, God.
And, I made him a little pillow and blanket corral so that every time he would get up from sleeping and start stumbling around, he could only fall against a pillow. And maybe he would stay down, maybe he would fall asleep again, or maybe he'd keep trying. But even his final morning, which was that Tuesday, every so often he would fight to get out of there, and it was because he needed to pee.
Uh-huh.
And he wasn't gonna pee on himself. He was going to be a big boy and go to the paper. Because we had a doggy pad right there. He peed, very little, because, we would give him a little bit of water, but not a whole lot. But everything was shutting down. So, but he would feel like he needed to pee, and he'd go over there and he'd pee a teaspoon, and he'd go back.
And go. Yeah.
But on his last morning, I came down in that morning, and he was walking around on the paper because he had just fought his way out of the corral, and I'm like, my husband goes, I think he just needs to pee. And I'm like, no, he's pooping. That's a pooping pose there. And it was the tiniest little raisinette nugget of poop. And it was so hard because he hadn't pooped in 4 days.
Aww.
And I went and got a wet paper towel, and I kind of massaged his butthole, and I helped him with his last little poop, his cute little poop. And I praised him like crazy, like, oh, you're such a good boy. And the other favorite thing that he did his last morning was we let him wander around, and I realized he was doing a zoom. He was just doing it in slow motion.
Oh, how funny.
He was going up and down the hall and around the ottoman, and he was doing his circling that he would do on a normal Zoom. Yeah. You know, I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to run back this way. Because it took a few passes for me to realize he's doing a goddamn Zoom. And I'm just like, go, Spike, go, you know. Yay, good boy, you know. And I will say, mobile vets, that's what they do all the time.
Yeah.
How the fuck? I mean, they are angels, those people. Yeah. And, I mean, they didn't even want us to turn lights on. They were like, no, we got it. We don't need anything from you. We're fine. You guys just sit there and hold him.
Yeah.
And we buried him in the backyard. We had a plan for his favorite little donut bed, his first 2 toys, his first little bitty blanket that said baby pup on it. It was a nude puppy kit that we bought him for his first birthday. Yeah. There was a bed he never used, a blanket he kind of liked, because we used to keep it in his crate. But anyway, so yeah, he's buried in the backyard. Angie's husband has agreed to help us make a little garden stake grave marker for him.
Yeah,
that will look like
him.
That's
awesome. Yeah,
we haven't kind of gotten through that because should I just move on to the next stage of this?
Oh,
I know we've been talking for a bit, but
I know, but it's fabulous, and then it'll be my turn, so it's fine.
Madison is on the air.
Do you love old-time radio?
Yes!
You know absolutely nothing about old-time radio.
Also yes.
Then Madison on the Air is for you. Follow Madison, a modern-day makeup influencer, as she zaps back into the golden age of radio. Every episode is standalone with a wide variety of genres to choose from, like detective noir.
You put the dick in private dick.
Superheroes.
So I am in the body of the Green Hornet.
Westerns.
Saloon fight. Now this is a Western.
Sci-fi.
Dude, the Martian's got a freaking heat ray.
Plus classic characters.
Toto. Oh, I gotta get that dog into an obedience class. Really digging Dracula's OG goth style. What if I killed freaking Sherlock Holmes?
And many more. Actual old-time radio scripts adapted.
It's like if the MST3K riff tracks guys were in the movies they riff.
Start at the beginning or jump around to any title that grabs you. New episodes premiere the first of every month.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts.
So we had planned a party, by the way. We had planned a party, and it just ended up being a wake for him. But it was very nice, and it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of people over, people we hadn't seen in a really long time, and we had just a ball. And then a few days after that, literally 2 weeks to the day, like Spike died in the early afternoon, and early that Tuesday afternoon, Feely and Nell goes, hey, go, when you get a chance, go look out in the backyard. There was a German Shepherd in our backyard. And we had some landscapers who were mowing the grass and stuff on the outside of our back fence, because we're on the outer edge of the subdivision. They had knocked some pickets loose and months ago, and we had been like, I'll just stick a planter in front of it. You know, Spike can't get out. He's not going to try to get out. You know, he has no interest in running away. But a stray, collarless German Shepherd was hanging out, laying in the shade under the tree in our yard, and We gave him some water, and he was like, "Oh, thank you." Drank all the water. And we're just like, "Oh, we still have some food." Because we were going to donate all of Spike's stuff. So we had some cans of, kidney defense food that was the very gentle on his stomach food that we had given him. And I was taking care of my dad that night. My husband gave the dog a can, that last big can of food, and he was like, "Oh, he seems really muddy and stuff, but I think he'll hang out here. I mean, he'll be safe here, and we'll just try and figure out where he's from." Weirdly, the next day, he wasn't there in the morning, but he showed up again. Only now he wasn't covered in mud, and that was interesting. We think he found someone whose sprinklers were on.
Maybe.
And took a shower.
You don't have a creek or a river or anything near there.
No. I mean, it had rained.
Yeah.
But that was like a week before, because it rained a lot the week of my birthday, and there wasn't water in the ditch anymore, and that would have been disgusting water, frankly. But because it would have come all the way down the hill. But yeah, we don't know. I mean, he wasn't clean, but he wasn't muddy anymore. So it was like, oh, I think he's trying to put one over on us. Like he wants, he's like, "Hi, I like you. Aren't I cute?" We fed him and gave him water, and we can't not do that. I mean, and our plant, and I was posting things all over the place, intact male German Shepherd.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep him in our yard and keep him safe as long as we can, but we can't keep him. We can't keep him. We're not gonna keep him. And of course, we had already decided that we were gonna take a year off from having a pet, so that we could travel and shit, because we haven't done anything without taking the little shit with us all the time, because old dog needed to be with us. So we weren't going to keep this dog. In my posting, I got contacted. I didn't realize that this person who said, "Hey, if you can't get the dog to a place where they can scan to see if he has a chip, I can come by." So I contacted.
Cool.
And I contacted. Apparently, you can just buy one on Amazon. My friend Larry told me that he finds stray cats so often.
Oh, that he just
finds
bought
them
a
constantly.
Chip. Oh, that's funny.
He just bought a chip scanner because he's like, "I'm just going to let them all in. If they belong to somebody, I would rather. Here you go,
exactly.
Because where he lives, it's just like, oh, hi, cat. Just random neighborhood
Oh, that's
cat.
like Sarah.
Anyway.
I know, because she lives right by the river.
Downtown.
Yeah. And
well, that's how my sister, my sister,
Central.
My sister's yard. Yeah, my sister's yard became known in the cat distribution system.
Oh,
that network that goes all over the world. Her yard became known as, "Oh, hey, if you're pregnant and you're looking for a safe place to have your kittens,
there.
Go under this shed." It was constant. She was constantly dealing with
that sounds like
pregnant
Sarah's
cats.
house. I know, it's crazy.
Oh my god, that's how she has so goddamn many. Anyway, so we, long story short, Thursday, it's only been a couple of days since he first showed up. But again, I'm at my dad's, and a person with a scanner comes by, and it turns out they work for a rescue organization, and this is not normally how these things work. But what they usually do is they find the stray dogs, they scan them, they try to get them back to their owners, and if they can't, they find a foster situation and they take care of the dog for a while. Well, they're low on fosters.
So here you are.
And it's like, well, we had already kind of decided that he was going to stay here for a bit. And we had bought a bunch of food because he eats a lot, and Yeah, so we don't know how long this is going to be. But as of yesterday afternoon, there is a 2-year-old giant German Shepherd named Loki.
In the house.
In the house. And he has been given a bath. Luckily, I didn't have to participate in that. That was a lot of work on Feely and Elle's part. He didn't enjoy it, but Cutie Dog is totally willing to let us touch his feet.
But did the dog enjoy it? Was the dog okay?
He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't thrilled.
But he didn't growl or anything.
The thing, no. He's unbelievably sweet. I actually picked up his food bowl to add some additives to it this morning because he's got. We're dealing with giant dog diarrhea.
Oh, because God only knows what he's been eating or not eating.
Exactly. Right. It's like we fed him a lot. We fed him 3 times a day in the backyard before we let him into the house, and we're still trying to do that. But we never saw any poop or pee the whole time he was outside. We've now seen him pee only twice because he's so dehydrated. He's drinking as much water as we'll give him, but because he's also dealing with diarrhea, we have not seen a real solid poop from him yet. So we're giving him lots of... Luckily, we had a party where we made pumpkin blondies with chocolate chips. So we had an extra can of pumpkin in the pantry. So he's eating boiled chicken. Luckily, we have a shit ton of boiled chicken left over in the freezer. Because Spike used to eat that a lot. And then he had to stop eating it because it was too high protein for his kidneys to handle. So we had to switch his diet. We had all this chicken in the freezer. So this dog is benefiting a lot from how we've had...
Now, will the rescue organization pay to say, like, have him checked out if he has, like, parasites or something?
100%.
So maybe
100%.
they need to do, like, a poop test or something. Maybe he has parasites or some
Right.
such.
Well, right now, the goal was, inside, safe, fed, whatever. But they are coming because they're going to give us a crate for him. They're going to bring some... Because we were like, oh, yeah, if you want to give us stuff, that's great. Because they take... I mean, they don't force foster people. Here, take on this load.
Yeah.
So we are doing them an enormous favor, and they... and the thing is that we're kind of like... We're going to have a relationship with this rescue organization after all this. And
maybe you could do it again later.
Right. Like we could have,
not,
we could get more little dogs of our own, and maybe if there's like a little dog, because it'll be easier because we have such a small yard. Giant landmine poops are going to be a pain in the ass to deal with.
Now, did you tell them about the diarrhea?
Well, it's mainly been last night and this morning. Feely and Elle slept downstairs. The doggy kind of is very restless because he has no flesh on his bones. I don't know how he's comfortable. He likes to lay on our cold tile kitchen floor though. He's still very itchy. We bought him... I ordered a one of those Advantix, the flea drop things. And I ordered just a package of one because I could get it by 8 a.m. today. So he's only had that on him for a few hours. He's still super itchy. I mean, when he gave him the bath, he washed him with flea-killing soap because we had multiple kinds of soap. Because Spike had different needs at different times. And he washed him in, I used to do with Spike, put some of the gentle soap in the rinse water to begin with, so that you're just rinsing him initially with kind of soapy water to get the first layer of oil off, and then scrub him with the flea stuff, and then scrub him with the anti-itch stuff. So part of the reason why that bath was so fun was because it was an endless bath, and it was like, but you're dirty. And you're in our house now, and we're going to have to flea bomb. I have not seen fleas on me. I mean, he's itching constantly. Of course he is. But we're killing them, and hopefully by the end of... Because now that we got the medicine on him, hopefully... I mean, I know Joxer never liked that medicine. That didn't work for Joxer.
Oh,
The
it didn't
squeeze
work
between
for
the
him,
shoulder
but
blades.
the oral does, so that's fine, you know.
Yeah. But we also have bought him vitamins, all kinds of, like, food additives and stuff, because we got to get weight on him. He's so... You can see his ribs. You can see his hip bones. He's
how
so
long he's
skinny.
been on the street. Who knows? You have no way to know.
I mean, I know the first time one of my neighbor Grace, who lives down that way, the first time she took a picture of him and posted it on the local group was on the 23rd, on my birthday. And so that's been, you know, that was a week before he came into our yard. And the problem is, though, there's a lot of people around here who have German Shepherds. Mm-hmm. So there's constantly a lost German Shepherd around here. So I had to comb through so many lost dog things and determine that none of them were him.
Okay.
And, you know, and I posted so many things, but, you know, we're doing our best. There's also, I mean, because he had a chip, that's how we know his name. That's how we know how old he is. We also found out that he has been surrendered. His first family was a military family and a mom and little kids and a military husband who ended up getting deployed, and now she had 2 little kids and this big dog, and she couldn't do it. And she's so nice that even though she lives really far from here because they moved, even though she lives really far away, she went to a lot of trouble to rehome him with someone who would be good, or so she thought. And then she never heard anything after that until we read the chip and the rescue people called her. The poor woman, Filianelle said she was crying on the phone because she was so upset to find out that her beloved Loki had been astray on the streets. And she was like, maybe I can take him back. And it's like, you don't have to upend your life. Like, we understand, and maybe that will be the solution. But her husband still is deployed. You know, people don't just go away for a year and come back.
And the lady was crying. That's so sad. I'm glad you guys got to talk to her, though. That's good.
Yeah. And so, we don't know. We're working on through her or the rescue people. They're handling it because they do this. They're working on finding out who the second person was so that maybe they can find out who the third person was.
Yeah.
Like, somehow that's... They had that much information. I'm not 100% how, because I was not there.
Oh, but that's not...
Because I was taking care of that.
Whoever those previous owners were after the first one don't seem very good, you know. But who knows?
You never know.
Yeah.
And, like, if they live out here somewhere... Because it was July when he was loose, he could have gotten scared of fireworks and jumped over the fence.
Yeah.
Because we've all known dogs who their owners don't think to keep them inside, and you know how bad the fireworks are out here.
Yeah.
You've been here. You've been here on New Year's Eve, so you know how you can imagine how bad it is on the 4th of July. So, you know, there's lots of reasons, and it could have been nobody's fault. But they ain't looking for him hard enough.
Yeah.
I even put a found dog report with the local Humane Society and the local shelter. So I've covered all the bases. And we don't know how long we're going to have him. But I will say this. You know how Spike was so attached to me?
Yeah.
And, you know, I would be a little jealous. And as Spike got older, he got a little more attached to Gina. And I was fine with that. I had many, many, many years of Spike being all about me. Loki? Oh, did I say that?
Oh, you did, yeah. Yeah.
I'll bleep it. All about Filianelle. Loki loves him so much that when he went outside to, like, quickly, like, he was like, I gotta fix the fence, because when they come back, they're not gonna be okay with the fucked up fence.
Oh, yeah, the dog people, you mean. Oh, yeah.
And it's like, even though we know he ain't leaving us, And also, we told him we're not going to just throw him out in the backyard and let him stay there while we sit inside the air conditioning.
No.
We're not those people. He's going to be an indoor, spoiled-ass German Shepherd who we're doing a lot of training. We're being very good. You know, he knows.
Well, he's obviously well socialized from what you've shown me and stuff.
Oh my God, and he's not food aggressive. Like I said earlier, like I was able to pull his bowl. He had eaten half of his breakfast, and I was like, "Can I have this for a second so I can mix some more pumpkin stuff in there?" And he didn't even have an issue with me taking his bowl away from him.
Okay.
He was like, "Oh, you're putting more stuff in here? That's fine. I'll eat that too." Yeah, he's a sweetheart. He is the sweetest German Shepherd you can imagine.
Kids, so he's obviously well socialized and well.
Yeah, and whoever ends up with him, whoever ends up with him is gonna get an amazing dog. It's just not gonna be us, and I will get attached to him, but it's gonna be hard on Phil. He is already so.
God, if I still lived in Bent World, I could take him.
I know, and I would have, because you would have. As soon as I sent you that first picture, you were like, "Oh my God!"
I would have been like, "Bring him over."
Yep.
Hey, I had room.
So figure out a way to get.
I had room there.
Down here. You did. You had, and you also had another.
Yeah,
German
but
Shepherd.
here is the same. Here is the same as you. Small yard.
Yeah, there's. Yeah.
At least your house is big
God.
compared to mine.
Yes, and we're trying to keep him downstairs. I mean, he had his bath upstairs, obviously, because that's where the bathtub is. But we're trying to the intention. Oh my God, the you know how we just had like that little broken baby gate.
Oh,
and a
yes,
trash can
I do.
at the bottom of the bottom of the stairs, and that was enough
I
to keep
remember
Spike.
it well. Yes.
This one, Lionel wasn't in the room with me, and he was actually in the bathroom, but Doggy didn't understand that, and he was gonna go looking for him, and he just sort of stood at the bottom of the steps and looking up, and I'm like, "Don't you do it!" And I saw him rear back. He leapt into the air like a fucking steeplechase horse.
What? Oh, to go up the stairs to find.
He jumped over the barricade. And so I was like, yeah, we're going to have to fortify.
Oh, because he was trying to find Lionel, huh?
Yes! He doesn't want to have anything. I mean, every once in a while. And I sent you that one, the selfie of the three of us on the couch. On the big new couch. Yeah, thank God we got the big new couch so three giants can sit on it. He likes head in lap. But it'll be better when he stops itching, because he can't be comfortable for too long.
No, and I'm sure the place, when they come out to check him out, I'm sure they'll give you flea medication so you don't have to keep buying it. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Because they're going to supply us with stuff, but there was just certain things that we were like, I mean, I had thrown away all of Spike's old flea medications, but that was for 5 pounds or less, or 10 pounds or less.
10 doses for 10 minutes.
I know, and it's like, fuck it. But yeah, we're gonna go through, a lifetime supply of dog shampoo we still had Spike's first bottle of dog shampoo I ever bought. The one that smelled, it was clearance. It was Sargent's brand. It was like, it smelled like cloves. I loved that stuff. That was like a final rinse thing after a
while. The Bitchen Boutique.
Yes.
I think we need to give them a thing, Spike. We can give them a drop that they could play on their
Yes,
show.
I think we've got to find some time and get time to do that.
Right now. I think we should do it right now. Look, I'll show you how easy it is, Spike. Watch this. I'm just going to do it live.
Okay, do it live.
Like that bloke screams. I'm just going to do it live. Watch this. Hi, this is Dr. Dan from the Two Skeptical... I can't do it now. Look, I can't speak. Too much pressure. I'll try again. Take 52. Hi, this is Dr. Dan from the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast, and you are listening to the most Bitchen Boutique. See? That was easy, wasn't it?
Okay.
They could send us one, we could play it as.
Yeah.
Right, you do it.
Yeah.
Right,
what do you want me to say?
Whatever comes to mind.
Hi, this is Spike from the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast, who ain't no bitch, but you're listening to the Bitchen Boutique.
Oh, that was good. I hope they use that. Let's see if they cut it and put it in their next show.
Diplomatic community.
But anyway, I've been talking for a really long time. And you have had excitement in recent weeks as well.
Yeah, there's a lot. But let me preface with, when we were supposed to start recording this, I was still asleep.
Well, thank God you needed sleep.
Yeah, but that was weird. I never sleep that late.
I know. That's why I was shocked.
Because the dog, he is on a timer. I wake up between 7:15 and 8 every day because that dog eats at 8.
Right.
We were supposed to start recording at 9. I did not wake up until 9:15. And I was like...
Which was several minutes after I texted him 1,000 times.
And I was like, oh my God, it's 9:15. And the funny thing about that is, I must have been getting energetic messages from the dog because I literally woke up from a dream where he was running in the house with banana peels trying to eat the banana peel. So obviously he was pissed off and hungry.
But can't he just jump on your bed and wake you up?
Sometimes he sleeps with me, and sometimes I'll get the paw. But I think he senses if I'm deep asleep, he'll just wait there patiently, and I know that because he'll be like, and then he'll move, and he'll be like. Because sometimes if I'm aware of it, but then as soon as I stir, he's like up. And he's like, okay, now it's time. God. But it was so funny. But anyway, on that note, I got to go for a minute because I have to,
Okay. Well,
yes, we'll just do my, my morning thing. I will be back. So, yes.
Of course. And we're back. Since poor Pitney rolled out of bed and was like, oh, shit, I'll be on in a minute. It's just like, okay, so he didn't get to do his morning constitutional.
Yes, and the dog.
So everything's fine.
Yes, and the dog, has to go out at least 3 times before he gets settled.
After holding it all night, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's like. I said earlier, like, oh, everything's been great. But yeah, I was not thinking about a couple weeks ago where I had to take Mom to the emergency room.
I mean, when I said we both had a lot going on, that's what I was thinking of.
So...
like, I remembered it before you did.
We were out sitting 3 Sundays ago, or no, 3 Tuesdays ago, or 4 Tuesdays ago. Anyway. I don't...
It was the day that we put Spike down. Because you kept apologizing to me for that you thought you were bothering me when I was burying my dog.
I was texting you all that was going on. That's
because she got really sick really fast and it was scary.
Yeah, it's like we were just sitting one morning, sitting out and talking and having coffee as we sit in the patio every morning. And for our coffee, and Mom loves to talk about the news and Trump and blah, 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 blah. So anyway.
Well, it's been very exciting lately, but we won't talk about it. Everyone knows what's happening.
So anyway, but before that, Mom had been, out doing her, yard work in the backyard, and she had pruned a rose bush and pruned down, like, these lilies that need to be cut down every summer so they come back. And she had this big box of clippings, which is relevant in a minute.
Right.
But anyway, so we're sitting there, and all of a sudden she stops talking, and she gets this really confused, faraway look on her face. And it's like something was just, she was halfway just gone. And she was like, what was I just doing? Why am I outside? What's going on? What day is this? Do you go to work today? oh, yeah, you go to work in a few hours. What was I doing? And I said, Mom, you were just pruning the roses and the lilies. And she's like, I don't remember that at all. And I showed her the box. I said, look, you just gave me this box of clippings to take out to the, to the front yard. Because, we throw stuff on the side in the gutter, and then they come get it every week, which is really cool. Anyway.
It's very cool, but man, when I was out there last year, I'm driving around like, why are there so many oranges in the street? Everyone with their fucking citrus trees, pruning them and throwing their perfectly good oranges. Oh, that's why. Well, yeah, because
everybody has citrus trees in this neighborhood,
I know. We had a dying nectarine tree when we lived out there. We never got a damn nectarine off of it.
But anyway, she had no memory, and I was like, do you remember you talked on the phone to Rita this morning? Oh, did I? Well, Rita calls me every morning. And I was like, well, do you remember getting that email from Roseanne being my cousin in Montana? And she's like, I haven't heard from Roseanne in over a year. Why did she write me? And I'm like, Mom, she's...
Oh, she was the racist one who didn't come to the birthday, right? Is that not Roseanne?
Oh, no, that's Anthony. And no.
Never mind. Didn't mean to derail.
No, that's not her. But I was like, don't you remember she wrote you and she's coming in October? I haven't heard from Roseanne in years. I said, Mom, she wrote you back because remember I made the amoigu, the recipe that she sent? Did you make amoigu? I haven't had amoigu in years. Anyway, this went on and on.
And she got more and more freaked out, and you got more and more freaked out.
She was so confused. She couldn't remember anything. Yeah. I said, Mom, I'm taking you. I'm going to call 911. Don't you dare call 911. I don't want the neighbors to know something is happening. I'm like...
What? Well, yes,
and I was like, well, how about this? I'm going to call, your health insurance. I'm going to talk to the advice nurse. And we're going to see what's going on. Is that okay? And she was like, oh, that's okay if you feel like you need to. And I could tell that she was scared and she knew something was going on.
But she doesn't want to. She doesn't like the fact that she's as old as she is and she has to rely on people. Yeah. She hates it.
So anyway, I called the advice nurse. I said, do we go to urgent care? Do we go to the emergency room? And I was like, I do not need to call 911. It's not that acute. And they asked me all these questions about the face drooping and how her, and I was like, and I said, I thought it was a stroke. I don't think it is because none of those symptoms are.
Right. And you said stroke to me first, and I was like, it's possible, but not without having been there. And I was like, there's so many things it could be, though. When you're in your 90s, it could be anything.
Yeah, so anyway, go... Anyway, so long story short is I had to take her to the ER. And it turned out that she was really dehydrated and she had a UTI.
Which is, like, when you were working in the nursing home and my mom was sick, it was like, that was like a constant, like, how much water is she had today? Get her to chug a glass of water.
So that's what it was. And they thought she possibly had a TIA, but there's no way to tell.
I'm not sure what TIA is. It's like,
I don't remember the technical term for it, but it's what they call a mini stroke. And there's no way to tell, and they usually have temporary things like that. That's possible. Right. They don't know. So she had to have a round of antibiotics, and she had IV antibiotics, and she had, saline IV to keep her hydrated, and then, so she's fine now.
Yeah. Right. Well, except for
but we had to go, so the week after that, then we had to go back to the doctor, and they did a CT scan on her brain, so they have a baseline. Right. So if this happens again, they can tell if it's a TIA or not. Because without a baseline, it's so minute they can't tell. But just to be on the safe side. Right. So then she was all excited because two of my cousins were supposed to arrive 3 days ago to go to the Italian Festa this weekend, which is today. Oh,
and that's like the big, and every annual, it's like the big thing
that's
to do
why
every
Mom
year.
is so depressed this morning. It just dawned on me
Because
the
it's
Italian
today.
Fest is today. Every
And
year
she's
we
not
go.
there.
Every year my cousins come, sometimes 2, sometimes 4. It's a big family thing every year. So anyway, the day before the visit, we had to cancel the visit because Mom tested positive for COVID. Which, she's fine. She's been fine. She had a bad sore throat. She was very hoarse. And this happened on Sunday.
Right.
And we tested Wednesday. And I was like, that's the first sign of COVID, right? We better watch you. What do you mean? I don't have COVID. I'm like, I don't know, but that's usually the first. That was my first symptom both times.
Yeah, that's what most people.
Yeah, that was
have.
my first inkling both times.
When I tested for it when we came back from Frightmare, that's another thing that happened. I had COVID when we came back from Frightmare, but the thing was that it wasn't so. Eventually I had a little bit of a sore throat, but my biggest problem was as I was driving back, I kept almost falling asleep while I was driving.
Yeah.
And so we pulled over, and my husband drove the rest of the way home, and I was like, I couldn't stay awake. I just slept the whole way home, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong? I mean, yeah, sure, I'm tired, but you and I have driven back and forth after a con, and I'm wide awake after. It takes me a couple of days to go to sleep after a con, but yeah, so that was how I realized something was wrong, and I tested, and then
So anyway, Wednesday morning, she's still real sniffly. She's still kind of hoarse, and I was like, we better give you a COVID test. Oh, okay. Yep. Sure enough, it was positive.
Yeah.
So we had to call the cousins, and I had to call them and let them know. And
you had some cousins that had just been at the house, so you had to tell them. And didn't one of my
cousins have
also?
it, and we found out that she was positive before Mom, and I think Mom gave it to her.
Yeah, it's very possible that she just tested first. That's
anyway, it doesn't matter, and I didn't say that to Mom because it doesn't matter, right? Because they're both fine.
No,
they're both fine, but she's still testing
because they're both vaccinated to the maximum level.
Yeah, she's still testing positive, but
fine.
she feels fine. She's just pissed off that
it ruined her
plans and she has to stay. But anyway, but I have, thank God, I'm still negative. I've been, in fact, when we finish here, I'm going to go test her for the day, and me too.
Right.
But anyway, but that was the first beginning. I have a lot coming up, which is exciting. And especially for me, because I don't do shit ever.
Oh, I know. We have to force you to
me going out with Sarah and having, a pint at the brew pub is a big deal for me, and then I'll be out for 45 minutes and I'll be like, oh my God.
Because you would have to put on shoes.
Yeah, and I'll be like, oh my
and
God,
you'd rather not.
Been gone from the dog for so long. Okay, I have to go by. And she's like, you've only been out an hour. It's like, I know, but I have to go home because I get anxiety worrying about Joxer.
Yeah.
So anyway,
why do you think I haven't left my house in 4 years?
But anyway, this coming Wednesday, which I hope Mom is still negative then, because otherwise, or positive. I hope she's not still positive then and she's negative by then.
Yes.
Then I'm going to have to cancel. But I have an old friend who I've only seen once since the late 80s.
Oh my
who's
God.
coming out Wednesday night for 5 days.
That is so crazy.
And we're going to hang out.
Right before I'm coming out. 1 week later.
I'm going to have a barbecue on Sunday the 11th for her birthday. And I'm going to have friends coming that I haven't seen. I have a friend, Juliet, coming from New York that I was inseparable with for years. I have not seen her since 1991.
She's your roommate from San Francisco. Yeah. Yes.
So she's going to be here and coming to the barbecue. And anyway, it's going to be really cool. And then Tracy leaves Sunday night and you come Tuesday. So there's a lot going on.
That's crazy.
And then on top of all that, in October, I'm going to Portland for the Witches Ball. So I have a lot coming up, which is very exciting because all I do is I go to work, I go shop, I take Mom to Costco every other week, and I walk the dog, and that's all I do. And maybe once every month, I'll go to Sarah's house and, we'll go out for dinner or we'll go out to the brewery or whatever, because she's very into the breweries and she knows everybody that owns and works at all the breweries. It's really a hoot. Because we can go in there and it's like every brewery to go in there with Sarah, it's like Cheers. She knows all the people that work there.
She's the norm
knows all
of
the
every
regulars, and it's all really interesting people.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
So it's fun. But anyway, that's what I do. So I have a lot coming up. So that's really exciting. Do you hear barking? Let me go let him in. He's mad because I've locked him out. Hold on.
Oh, well, I want to say hi to him.
All right, I hear you.
Puppy.
I hear you. Come on, you can come in. I hear you. All right, come here. Come here.
Oh,
you say
there's my puppy.
Yes.
Hi, Joxer. Hi, baby. Oh, he's so beautiful. He's so handsome.
He's so clueless.
I know, but that's okay. He's gonna see me in like a week and a half.
No.
I'm gonna give him so many kisses.
He wanted to be on the big bed. Now he's on the big bed and happy.
I might bring him some toys. Since I got him to play with toys, maybe I can give him.
Oh, he loves toys. Yeah.
Speaking of, I went through the big box of Spike's toys looking for the things that were like the toughest. Oh my god. While I was finishing work for Friday, and Filianelle had taken the afternoon off so he could 100% do dog, I kept getting texts like, okay, the little red and blue dachshund is the ears were gone within seconds, and the rest of it's good. He pulled his ass out, and then all the stuffing came out, so that's done. Every single thing we've given him, it was dead within a couple of minutes. It was completely destroyed. And Spike didn't. I mean, the only toy he ever really destroyed, like quickly, was that one. It was like a cat head and a cat butt, and then there was like a rope between. And he bit out his eyes. It's the only time he ever was like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. But
yeah, those big dogs. Don't you? I used to buy Lindbergh. I would go to the Goodwill and buy the bags of the stuffed animals.
Of cheap
and it didn't
stuffed
even
animals,
matter what they
because
were.
he was going to
destroy
them anyway.
He would destroy them and take all the stuffing, and then run around with the unstuffed,
with
just
the carcass,
shaking it, and it lasted. Remember, he'd poop out bits of fur. He pooped out Barbie doll shoes once. He pooped out a wig once, a Barbie wig. Do you remember that?
I mean, what is more glamorous than a dog pooping out?
I know, but
Thanks for listening. If you enjoy our show, please take a moment to rate and review us wherever you listen.
If you send us a screenshot of your review, we'll send you a Bitchen Boutique sticker.
Everyone loves stickers. Please subscribe or add us to your favorites wherever you get your podcasts.
Subscribers get new episodes first and are also more attractive.
Drop us a line anytime at PitneyAndAmelia@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you. Okay. I can hear mine loud to me.
Oh, that fan. Or is it that one? I can't tell. But, oh, God. Yeah, it's so fucking hot here. It worked out great that we brought the dog in when we did, because yesterday the feels like was 109.
Oh, my God.
In the afternoon when we brought him in. And, the temperature was 99, but the feels like was 109. Today, the forecast is for 102. I have no idea what temperature it is right now.
Oh, God.
And next week is going to be that bad here. So no matter how warm it is in San Jose, I'm going to feel fucking great.
Oh, you're going to love it, because maybe it'll probably be in the 80s.
Yeah, and people will be complaining about how hot it is,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be like, I am wearing corduroy overalls.